Hello there. Welcome. What's up? Let me get my coffee ready. My new grinder's in, but I didn't have time to set it up and use it this morning. It's in the drain. I washed it last night. Hopefully tomorrow. For Friday. New coffee grinder for Friday. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Thursday, May 28th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Good stuff. Well, I hope you had a fantastic Wednesday. I sure did. It was busy and it was hot. It was the second day in a row where we broke 90 here. It doesn't look like it's going to happen again today, so not quite an official heat wave, but man, it's gross and I'm not ready. It's May. It was snowing not that long ago. Well, on the plus side, I was able to get the house cooled off enough last night that I was able to sleep. I do not sleep well when it's hot, especially when it's really hot. I can't keep the bedroom window open because there's enough traffic, just enough traffic, that it'll wake me up. But I had windows open and fans going and got it down from, I think it was about 75 when I went to bed. When I woke up, it was about 71. It's low 60s outside, so got some decent airflow going in the house, and just gonna try to do more of the same today. Got a lot going on, right, Kat? We got a lot going on. Yeah. What's going on? I'll tell you. Did a bunch of email stuff yesterday. Projects, just chipping away at little stuff. There's nothing huge going on with whistlekick right now. It's all just little stuff, and it's all just trying to help the company move along to its next version. We're playing with logo design for multiple things, and scheduling conversations with people about books and this and that. And I'm excited where things are going. I'm excited where they've been. I'm excited where we're headed. And who knows what the future holds? That's the fun of it, right? You hope, you plan, you try to implement that plan, and you see where it takes you. And sometimes it takes you someplace great, and sometimes it does not. That's okay, because you learn from it. Good. What else? What else can I talk about? What else can I tell you? It looks like next Wednesday is the first day I can plant. The rest, plant all my outside things. We've got 2 days that are threatening to be, it looks like 37 degrees on the weather map overnight, Saturday night and Sunday night, or no, Sunday night and Monday night. And that's just too cold for a lot of these plants. That's too much shock. So we gotta wait, which is a bummer because some of them are getting enormous and have been up potted like 4 times. But the pots are in now, they're going to have to stay because I don't want to have to dig holes any bigger than I already do. Some of them are in 1-gallon fabric pots, which that's a big hole to dig at a bed. we're not dealing with bigger holes. It does mean I'll probably start some plants a little later next year than I had. What else is going on today? Oh, it's Thursday, so we have an episode out. Let's see what it is. Because I don't remember. Episode 505. The next year. This is where I talk about not so much the predictions for whistlekick, which I did talk about at one point. Or not the predictions for the martial arts industry. But predictions for whistlekick. Where are we headed the next year? What are we up to? What's going on? Now, most of you at First Cup are going to be pretty familiar with this. I give you a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. If you subscribe to the Patreon, You'll know a lot of this, but in the general martial arts sphere that whistlekick operates in, we don't talk about what we're doing too often. That's not what most people tune in for. So here we go, martial arts radio. We did the retrospective as what, $4.99, and here we are at 5:05 talking about what's coming. What else is going on? My big priority today is get all this lemon law crap done so I can get rid of this junk car and get another car that doesn't suck. Right? Right, Cat? What else going on? Client stuff. Trying to get outside. You're fine, you can jump. Water some plants. Go for a walk. Go get some soil at the local compost place. Because I'm out. Hi. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's much else to say. No. Let's see what you guys wrote in for questions and comments. My brain's not quite there yet. I slept well. Hold on. Cat. There you go, cat. So one of my great frustrations in life is that the cat, right, they do that kneading thing. And if I don't wrap her in a blanket, she does it on the couch and doesn't realize it. Hey, lay down. Cat. Let's look at the questions, the comments you all wrote in. If you have something you want me to respond to, just drop it in the comment section below and I'll respond. And we've got stuff today from Stacy and Frank. All right. Ooh, you guys are going to keep me busy here. All right, we'll start with Frank's stuff. We'll go in chronological order of what was submitted. Today is Amnesty International Day. I will be a champion of freedom. I will build a more peaceful world. From the Tae Kwon Do pledge. Yeah, that's, I think that's from the WTF, Tae Kwon Do pledge. I'm not 100% sure, but I know I've heard it. And just based on where I think I heard it, I think it's at the WTF or WT. Stacy says I can hold hers for another day. I'm going to forget to do that. I'm going to forget to look back. I think we can get through these. I think it's important that martial artists consider themselves, if not use those words. I think part of our responsibility as we develop our skill is to use it for good, right? And that doesn't have to be vigilante justice, even though some of us may fantasize about that at times. But it can mean just, how did martial arts make you better? And take that better version of you out into the world and set an example. Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes that's all you can do. But it's still important to do so. Get up, stand up for your rights. Oh, Stacy says it's the ITF oath. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the correction. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Of course, that's Bob Marley from the song Get Up, Stand Up. It's an anthem. And I think part of it's important to know when that song was written. And you might want to go back, do some digging into the history, because it's not a time that I am an expert in. But unfortunately, that song could be just as appropriate today with some of the things that are going on. I do believe it's gotten better. I believe it's gotten much better. But that doesn't mean we don't have a lot of work to do. And we'll keep doing it. It means a great deal to those who are oppressed to know that they are not alone. And never let anyone tell you that what you are doing is insignificant. Desmond Tutu. One of the most difficult things when we're feeling down for whatever reason, whether it's I had a bad day at work, or hey, I'm living under apartheid and my life sucks. One of the worst things is feeling like nobody cares. Now, obviously, I'm speculating on that second one because I've never lived under apartheid. But I'm imagining that as kind of a modern extreme. Nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to feel forgotten, taken for granted. Of all the negative things people have done to me, I think my least favorite, I think the one that hurts the most, is feeling taken for granted. Because it's more subtle. Don't let people feel that way. Don't let them feel like the world's indifferent. And it doesn't mean that you or I or any one person is responsible for doing everything or even anything. But if you can do a little bit more, then nothing. If we can all do more than our share. When I go and I pick up trash, I mentioned a few weeks ago I went and picked up trash on a side road by my home. Came back with backpack full, plus a huge bag tied onto it. I could do that every day if I went to the right spots. I could have a 30-day cycle and have more than enough to pick up, and it could be overwhelming and frustrating, and I could hate the world for it. Or I can say, I'm not going to throw trash on the road, and I'm just going to make sure I do a little bit more than that, which is to pick up some. Maybe it's once a year, maybe it's when I go for a walk, hey, here's a bottle, I'll grab that on the way back and bring it home and recycle. If we all do a little bit more than our share, it all works out. So when you consider this quote, let me read it again. It means a great deal to those who are oppressed to know that they are not alone. Doesn't mean you have to become a champion for every cause, but you can acknowledge them, and you can acknowledge the people fighting for them. Do more good than harm in the world, and set the example, right? The last quote, set the example for everyone else. Be good. Be the warrior for good, or however you want to look at it, that goes out into the world and makes it better. Everybody has opportunities for that. Some of them are public, like what I do. Some of them are not. In fact, I'd say most of them are not. There are plenty of ways you can do good work in the world that are private, and I do a lot of those. Some of them I don't talk to anybody about. There's a nice breeze coming through. I can smell it. Nobody wants to feel alone. You can't kill the truth, Mira Grant. You can't kill the truth. When I was in college, I found myself, through my philosophy classes, for those of you that don't know, I double majored in computer science, which probably doesn't surprise anyone, and philosophy, which, if you've gotten to know me, probably doesn't surprise you either. But I found in my philosophy classes, every class, for me, kept reducing back to truth. this idea of truth and subjective truth versus objective truth. And I won't bore you with all my thoughts on that. And unfortunately, I lost all my papers on that because I lost that hard drive. It really bums me out. I wrote some good stuff. Gabe says, you can't handle the truth either. Well, that's kind of the heart of it. Objective truth is something that we are not capable of knowing, because everything that we experience is through senses, and our ability to put things into context is based on historical experience, context, how we were raised, genetics, all that. And we can get close, but there's always subjectivity to the truth that we experience. Doesn't mean we don't strive to get closer and closer, but our truth as human beings is subjective. However, that objective truth, that nugget that is completely true, you can't kill it. You can't stop it. It exists. And we have to fight to find it sometimes. And we have to recognize that not everybody's ready to see it. There was a discussion on Facebook yesterday that I stepped into briefly and then gave up, of basically people acting like children. If you were to swap out the situation and describe it in terms of 5-year-olds, people would be embarrassed at the behavior and probably speak to their parents and say, what are you letting your kids do? But because they're adults and because it's discussing politics, somehow the rules of engagement are different. And I bring that up because subjective truth and opinion get confused often. The truth is the truth, whether you want it to be or not, or believe it or not. And most things that are true, we do not know yet. Consider that for a moment. We do not know most of what is going on in the world, in the universe, in physics, in all of these things. We have barely scratched the surface. We don't even understand how human metabolism works. Think about that. So to say that any one person has it figured out, it's bullshit. Might be the first time I've ever sworn on this show. Sorry, we're not. Though I don't check the box for this is kids programming, because it's not. There's a lot more to gain from assuming you don't know anything than there is to be gained from assuming you know everything. I tend to assume I know nothing. I know a lot more than nothing. I'll go out on a limb and say I probably know more than most people, because I've spent my life assuming I know nothing, and I've been able to take in a huge amount of information. I don't say that to be arrogant. I'm fairly certain it's true, and that's based on conversations that I have with people. Doesn't make me better, doesn't make me smarter, doesn't make me anything. It just means I'm more of a book on 2 legs than most people. That's all. Why did I go down this tangent? You can't kill the truth. Gives you something to lean on. Yeah, let's move on. What did Stacy write? I think one of the real dangers of the New Age movement is the word warrior, because it is presented without the dark side. Terry Dobson. We all have a dark side, Right? We all have a shadow. And failure to acknowledge that gives it the opportunity to grow and pop out at the worst possible time. There are plenty of movies, television shows, books, where this happens to the hero. Happens to plenty of us. If you do not observe the darker side of yourself and keep it in check, whatever that means to you, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows when it's going to pop out? The warrior, in order to be powerful, has to go to that dark place. If we take the historical example of, let's say, in sort of a martial arts context, like a samurai, if that samurai is in battle, it is not the good and the light and the bright spot of their existence that goes into battle. To take someone else's life, that's dark. That is the dark side. That is the shadow. And if that's what needs to be done, that part of that person needs to be present and trained and not ignored. We all have a dark side. We all have a shadow. It's there. No one is just purely good. We're balanced, right? So many Asian martial arts use the yin yang, as a symbol. Balance. Balance is critical. You might say you don't have one, but you have it. You just don't like to admit that it's there. I have it. I don't like to admit that it's there. It creates some scary, nasty, dark thoughts in my mind that I don't like. But they're there. So I accept them. I try to understand why they're there and where they're coming from and work through them. Thank you for editing this, Stacy. This makes more sense now. I know not why, but martial men are given to love. Francis Bacon, Sir Francis Bacon. I know not why, but martial men are given to love. And I think it's for exactly the reason that we just talked about. Balance. If you are a warrior, a fighter, and you are able to express that and fully engage that part of your personality, in order to remain healthy, what's the other side of it? Love. To balance that out. I think it's why when we consider movies with fighting, whether it's boxing or wrestling or whatever, the hero so often, by virtue of being great at whatever their combat is often very romantic or passionate outside, because we need to see that contrast. It needs to even out, otherwise the character seems one-dimensional. It's not mythology, that's real. That's something that has to happen for all of us. If we want to remain grounded, we have to be balanced. Otherwise, we tip. Don't tip over. Keep both feet on the ground. Figuratively, and at least most of the time, literally. So, great stuff. Good conversation today. Thank you. Now, I'm going to go drink my coffee. I'm going to try to get it cooled down in here a little bit more. And I'm going to go see if I can finish up this paperwork for the lemon law stuff. I hope you have a great day. I will see you back here tomorrow for Friday. And remember, if you have questions or comments, drop them below. If you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications because we do this show every weekday. You're welcome, Stacey. Thank you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube. You can catch it later. It's available, of course. And it's even in podcast feeds. And if you want to download it, even if you don't listen to it yourself, that helps us. So please consider subscribing to First Cup on your podcast feed. If you want to support the work that we do at Whistlekick, go to whistlekick.com. Use the code FIRSTCUP15 in the store, save 15%, or support us on Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. If you contribute at least $5, we're going to give you more content. Actually, $2 gets you more content. $5 gets you more audio. $10 gets you more video. So, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Peace.